Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, October the 3rd, 2022. Monday, October the 3rd, 2022. Got to get used to saying October. Please, if you haven't done so, subscribe to this channel so that you can get notifications every time I go live. Well, let's start off the show with what happened. Chelsea has Connor at the park. Everybody tells their kids this information at the park, right? Adam was supposed to meet her there, meet her and Connor, but he texted that he was hung up at work. Adam actually working at Jabot, that's a shocker. Okay. That's a shocker. But I guess since all the Abbotts are attending the wedding, perhaps he's holding down the ship and not chasing after Sally. Okay. So anyway, Chelsea decides she's going to tell him herself, and she tries to explain her history and some of her past and break it down to her, and saying, it was an early, I just couldn't handle, I was pregnant before and I had a baby, but I wasn't ready to be a mom like I was ready to be a mom with you. So I made a hard decision, and she gave the baby to a family that so he could have a better life, and yada yada yada. And so he goes, okay. And then he goes, yes, Connor, you have a brother. And you know him, and he's like, what? And she goes, it's Johnny. Johnny is your brother. And so he goes, wait, so you just handed your baby over to Victoria and Billy to raise? She goes, well, no, it was a very tough decision, you know, and it was for the best. It was for the best for Johnny. She's like, well, then why are you telling me this now? And so he's like, well, she goes, Johnny knows. Victoria and Billy just told Johnny, a couple days ago. So I wanted to make sure you knew as well. And he's like, she goes, because now that Johnny is your brother, you all could get to know each other, as brothers, and we could be a family. And so he goes, wait a minute. You want to be a family with Johnny? He goes, Johnny and I were already family. We were cousins. We were already family. But now you want to be his mom. What did I do? Did I do something wrong? She's like, oh, no, no, Connor, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just now that you both are older, it's time you all knew the truth. And so he goes, no, 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 you keep saying this is about me, but no, this is about you. And I was like, whoa, this is about you and you wanting to what now? Be in Johnny. Oh, he was just asking her the tough, hard questions. See, now when Billy and Victoria were telling Johnny, and Johnny didn't handle it well, right? And Billy told Chelsea, Johnny didn't handle it well and he needs some time. Oh, what? Well, then no. Then maybe I should talk to him. No, see, now she got a taste of a child not handling something well. Okay? Not handling it well. And now she knows how she feels with that information. And so Connor jumps up and he goes, take me back to the ranch. So you know what? All I had to do was wait a couple days, and Connor is going to tell me where he's living, right? Take me back to the ranch right now. I want to go home. And she's like, and he jumps up and walks away. She's like, Connor, but Connor. So she takes him back to the ranch. And then it shows her coming into Crimson Lights, all defeated. Oh, and she's picking up the phone and she's dialing. She's like, pick up, please, pick up. I'm thinking she's calling Adam, but no, she's calling Billy. And he picks up the phone because the wedding, the the wedding is done, right? I mean, but it wasn't over the festivities, but he was inside the house. And she goes, can you come to Crimson Lights? I really need to. No, are you busy? And he goes, well, I'm at a family function. Kyle and Summer renewed their vows. Oh, my timing sucks. Everything I do is wrong now. And he goes, wait, where are you? And she goes, I'm at Crimson Lights. He goes, okay, you know what? I can sneak out for a few. Just stay right there. So Billy comes and there's Chelsea. Every time I think I have the, going down the right path, I have the right idea, it turns out to be wrong. Connor didn't accept it and he wouldn't even speak to me all the way home. And Billy's looking at her like, went through that with Johnny. Yeah, okay. So he tells her, but Chelsea, just remember, you are a good mother and you will be able to you give Connor some time, you'll be able to talk to him, you know. And so she's just like, oh, but he, and just, oh, just, I don't know. And, oh, so he goes, you know what? I have a good idea. I have a good idea, Chelsea. So he takes her up to the rooftop. I forget who, Billy took somebody else up to that rooftop. Or actually, someone took Billy to that rooftop and taught him to yell to release some of his stress. And I cannot remember who. If anybody can remember who took Billy up to that rooftop for the first time and got him to just yell it out. Anyway, so he did it first and it kind of startled Chelsea. She's like, whoa, what? And he goes, okay, now it's your turn. And she goes, no, people already think I'm crazy. I don't, And he goes, it's going to release some of that pent up tension. Chelsea, go ahead and do it. So she does. She lets out her scream out there. And when she was done, she's like, excuse me. Oh, she didn't do that. I just did that. But she said, this, like she gave the expression of, oh my goodness, this feels so much better. They really did not have a conversation with what was going on. My allergies are acting up and I don't have any water here. So goodness, for the first time, I just may pause this video to go get some water if I keep coughing. But anyway, so there we go. And I'm thinking, I hope now we don't go back to latching on to Billy. Oh goodness. She just has nothing. She needs to just go back to her mama. She seriously does. She needs to go back to Anita because Chelsea's got nothing. Okay. So now we deal with the whole helicopter landing on the ceremony. And Tucker walks in like he owns the joint. And Jack meets him, Tucker McCall, because remember, nobody said his name yet. Jack is the first one to let us know he's Tucker McCall, and he's like, oh, Jack. And he goes, this is a private family event and you are not invited. You're not welcome here. You get back on your helicopter and leave. And Tucker looks like, I know you're not talking to me because I'm not even registering what you just said to me. It went in one ear and out the other. I said, yeah, in a minute. But look, Jack, by the way, I'm loving what you did with the place out here. I'm just coming to give my respects to the happy couple. And he walks right past Jack. And Phyllis is like, Tucker McCall? And Nick is like, oh. And Phyllis goes, let's get him out of here. And Phyllis is like, Nick is like, well, hold on, Phyllis. Let's let Jack handle this. This is Jack's house, And she's just looking. And I'm thinking, Jack can't handle nothing in his house. Tucker just walked right past him. And there's Diane standing there. And he goes, well, Diane Jenkins. I haven't seen you in a while. Looking good, Diane. And she just looking at him, right? Not saying anything. I had to go back and do some history on the internet with Tucker and Diane and Ashley and the whole. I remembered some of it. I remember Tucker ended up having an affair or sleeping with. It wasn't really an affair. Sleeping with Harmony, Devon's mother, who was played by Debbie Morgan at the time. And to me, that was just an unlikely pair anyway. That wasn't even, they had no chemistry together. And Ashley finds out that delays their engagement, but then it ends up getting back on track because Harmony didn't stay there long. She was gone. And she took Anna with her, which is Devon's youngest sister, Harmony's daughter. And then Anna comes back later. But then he and Ashley, work it out and they get married. And what broke them up was the affair he had with Diane Jenkins. So they do have that connection, he and Diane. One thing, and this is what I liked, was he actually, this is when Victor was thought to be dead one of the times, because Victor was thought to be dead more than once. And he was taking over Newman Enterprises. That was good. He was taking over Newman and, it was working. I mean, he was working it. And then Victor shows up from the dead, back from the dead in time enough to prevent it all from happening. So I'm hoping that he is the one that's going to help Devon, because he is just a formidable opponent to Victor as far as underhandedness and doing what he does. That is definitely Tucker McCall. If he has his sights set on Jabot, Jack is not savvy enough to prevent him from doing something to Jabot. He just isn't. I mean, come on now. Remember Ashlyn Locke when he was mad and found out that Kyle was Harrison's father, how he strategically started doing a hurting on Jabot's production houses, just putting their production and business to a halt, crippling the company, right? So we'll see which direction Tucker McCall is going to go in, but I'm ready for that whirlwind. And I actually like his little spunky personality. Trevor St. John plays trouble well, plays vindictive well. It's funny. I mean, I remember him as Todd Manning, and boy, was he horrible. I mean, poor Blair didn't stand a chance. But anyway, but with either Todd. But this one here was a different kind of, he plays more mind games. And the way this actor does things. And I really look forward to him bringing that into Genoa City. And I guess back in the past, he and Sharon did have some type of brief history as well. So, but you know what? That's what Young and the Restless is. There's only 5 women in the town, 5, that's it. And you got to go through all 5 because that's your choices. They're very slim in Genoa City. So anyway, he looks and he goes, there's the happy couple. And he walks over to Kyle and to Summer. And Kyle's looking at him like, oh, Tucker McCall. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, Kyle, you really don't know too much about Tucker McCall, really, because was Kyle even born at that time? I don't know. So anyway, he goes, I bought a gift for the happy couple. It's a vintage Bentley. I understand your grandfather preferred Bentleys over Mercedes or whatever he said. And this is a vintage Bentley. Your grandfather would have loved it. And Kyle's like, thank you, but no thank you, And so Tucker looks at him. And as soon as he says vintage Bentley, Nikki Newman was like, Bentley? Because realize what Deacon gave Nikki was a picture of the Bentley that Diane was driving around in LA. So once Nikki gets in, they know who the company that owns it. Victor's people are supposed to be looking into that. But this vintage Bentley that he's given Kyle, and he reaches over to Kyle's hands and like stuff the keys in his hands, like, look, you taking this gift because you saying no thank you means nothing to me. He's like, well, you know what? Once you drive it, I'm sure you'll grow to love it. He's like, here, it's yours. And he turns and he walks away and he goes, tells Jack, he goes, Jack, can I speak to you in private for a minute? And Jack says, if it'll get you to leave, sure. And I'm thinking, see, there you have it. Let Jack take care of it. Jack can't take care of it. Really. So he and Tucker go to the side and Tucker says, hey Jack, where's Ashley? When's she coming back? And he looked, he goes, you did all this to speak to Ashley or to impress Ashley? He goes, I want to make amends to Ashley. And Jack's like, shh, she's not here. Don't know when she's coming back and wouldn't tell you. And I'm thinking, if you can't see that that is a ruse or a ruse of a story, Tucker is wealthy, completely wealthy. Tucker knows Ashley runs the International Jabot division in Paris. He knows that. If you wanted to see Ashley and make amends with Ashley, guess where Tucker would have went? Would have went to Paris. But no, he came there. Ashley's rarely in Genoa City. Rarely, So anyway, after Tucker leaves, Diane, she comes to Jack and like, well, like the nerve of Tucker. What did you two talk about? And Jack's like, he was here to see Ashley. Do you think that's what he really wanted? He goes, I doubt it. Diane's just looking, right? And Phyllis is just watching everything. She and Nikki are kind of holding up their glasses to each other like, yeah, it's going down now. It's going down because Nikki took Phyllis into the house. And Nikki told Phyllis about it was a Bentley that Diane was driving around with in LA. And she was asking, this is like people on the board of this company that owns the Bentley. Do you recognize any of these people? And Phyllis is like, no. But Vicky is like, oh, Nikki is like, well, we're still going to be looking into this. So they're kind of cheesing because, yeah, Diane does have a secret. And she isn't what she seems. And they're like, and we right on this. We are right on it. So Tucker goes back to his room and gives Diane a text talking about, yeah, see, your secret is safe. You need to let me know when Ashley is back. Well, how would Diane know? But okay, I guess Diane does work for Jabot. But Ashley will be back when Ashley will be back. And I'm sure Tucker is going to know right when she's back without even Diane telling him anything, because he has those kinds of resources. And Diane gets that text and she's reading it and she just has this look on her face like, oh my goodness, oh no, he's gonna mess things up, oh no. And Phyllis comes up behind her. Oh, bad news? No, just a work issue. No, just a work issue, but I'm not gonna deal with it today. This is Kyle and Summer's day. I'm not gonna let work interfere. And Phyllis is like, yeah, this is Kyle and Summer's day. And she's just looking at Diane. Diane goes, I'm gonna go back and mingle. And so Diane leaves. And that's actually when Phyllis and Nikki, their eyes meet and they hold their glasses up to each other like, it's about to go down. So it was interesting. I mean, it moved. It definitely moved along a bit. I'm looking forward to the Tucker character. Looking forward to it. And then let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. Brooklyn says, you were absolutely right about Audra. She was Noah's ex-girlfriend. You must be looking ahead because they haven't said that yet. As a matter of fact, Noah hasn't even left the wedding yet. Tucker is a ruthless businessman and he's going after the Newmans and Jack's family's companies. Let's see. but I think he can only take over one realistically. And Dito says, I watch the day ahead on YouTube. Yeah, I know. If you search full episodes, you can watch ahead. The reason I don't do it is I have to keep in order with what the network is airing, because like I said, the recaps are after you've watched the show. Let's chat, let's talk about it. I'm not doing a spoiler, like spoiling episodes ahead. And on top of the fact, I like to, as you see, have pictures showing in the box, and I can't do that from the YouTube videos. They're blurry, they're grainy, they're showing one brick or maybe a piece of a cheek or a skirt. It's just goodness, like horrible trying to get through those. But yes, we shall see where that goes. Let's see. Lashunta. She said Nate's got boundaries with Audra, but not Amani. Elena Chattel. Jack has been giving Diane mixed signals with nightcaps, her giving her advice, inviting her to spend the night. Yeah, when she allegedly fell asleep reading a story to little Harrison. He's been all about Team Diane. Tracy and Ashley even asked him about his feelings for her. That is so true. Gloria says, I feel sorry for Jack and Kyle, because the truth is going to come out with out that Kyle is not Jack's son. I don't know how they're going to rewrite history with that, because actually when Diane brought Kyle to Genoa City as a baby, she was claiming it to be Victor's baby. But Nikki had switched the sperm. Okay. There was a DNA test done. Jack had a DNA test to prove that that was his son, and it was not Victor's son. So, are they going to rewrite history? I don't know. That would be tough to do. I mean, that would almost be like the whole Summer wasn't a Newman and was an Abbott thing. We don't need to go through that again. That's just dredging a whole nother storyline back up. Patricia says Trevor St. John has already brought excitement to The Young and the Restless. I agree with you. Love to sing with Diane. And your enactment of the scene outside of Diane's room. She said that was funny. Phyllis will be interesting again, because you could tell she's going to find out the connection between Tucker and Diane. Besides being Devon's biological father, he has beef with Victor, Ashley, Jack, and Abby. I'm wondering why Abby. Maybe it's from the period when he was married to Ashley. Tucker's helicopter entrance was will even line up with the Dole, will liven up the Dole vow ceremony. That sure was Dole, with all 9 people that were there. Look, we want to do all this in front of our family and friends. Only one that was new was Diane and Tessa and Mariah. Everybody else was at their first one. So look, that wasn't for a whole bunch of people. Let's see. I'm interested. She says, I'm interested in The Young and the Restless again. Yep. The Audra character is Noah's old girlfriend and will give some life to the sack Debbie Downer Noah. He just never seems happy, and give he and Allie something to do besides jumping into bed. Yeah, this is going to add some tension between the two. Finally, if Kyle is Tucker's son with Diane, another exciting mystery causes why he was looking. Well, could be why he was looking at the Abbott Family album. I mean, that would probably be a lie that they would tell, because I do ultimately believe that Kyle is still Jack's son, and even if it's shaken up for a minute, that is still Jack's son. Because look, Tucker would have known all these years that was his son. Tucker McCall never would have allowed Jack Abbott to raise his child. And Medora says, I'm still wondering why Nick came back to Newman because Vicky and Victor override him every time. Watch out, Sally. Unemployment is coming. Um, Audra may be there to keep an eye on Nate because Nate walked out of that meeting and that put up a red flag to jail. I don't know. Audra, she came into me professional and strong, but now they're turning that girl into something else, and I wouldn't trust my IPO I mean, to her. That's incredible to me. So we shall see what she's really there for. I don't know. But that is Comic Corner. Comic Corner. Thank you everyone for your participation. I will be back for Tuesday's daily recap of The Young and the Restless.